This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. In news from the Magistrates Court, 23-year-old Romero 00 Roll of Quarry Mission Road and 22-year-old Marvin Augustine of Dean Street appeared before Assistant Chief Magistrate Sabola Swain Friday morning, charged with 1 count of murder. The men are both charged with causing the death of 21-year-old Ayondo Lewis on August 6th at Rock Crusher. Both suspects told the Magistrate Swain, that they are currently being monitored with ankle bracelets that would be able to pinpoint their exact location at the time of the murder and would prove their innocence. Roll and Augustine were not required to enter a plea and will return to court on November 29th, when both are expected to be served with a voluntary bill of indictment that will fast-track their case to the Supreme Court. Opposition leader Michael Pintard and St. Barnabas Member of Parliament Shannon Dawn Cartwright, who is also the deputy leader of the Free National Movement, along with party members, gathered at Edmund Moxie Park on Thursday evening for a community drive-around to advocate for an end to violence throughout the St. Barnabas community. Mr. Pintard says they have made a commitment to encourage young men, and they will do just that.
We've made a commitment as a team to go into the Over the Hill community, wherever there are challenges with our people, whether it is domestic violence, child abuse, conflict due to turf war, revenge actions, whether it's killings, shootings, stabbing. We want to go into the community encouraging young men and women to turn to each other to build our communities rather than on each other. We're going in to speak life over our residents, encouraging us to deal with the management of our anger in a different way. That if relationships are not working, to end those relationships. If counseling hasn't worked, if intervention by family and friends haven't worked, to end them and move on peacefully and find the person who's most compatible to you, as opposed to maiming or killing someone. And so this is really an attempt to help persons make better, different decisions about how we deal with each other, how we live with each other, how we coexist with each other in peace. And so
the opposition leader says this will be a weekly initiative that will take place in different communities, and they will work with faith-based organizations to discuss other topics such as teenage pregnancy and drug abuse. The group could be seen speaking with residents of the community as they express their appreciation for the party's efforts in the community. Pintard also made a stop to former Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Mother Pratt's residence, where she expressed her appreciation for the initiative and emphasized the importance of being unified in the midst of diversity.
I think it's so important for us to be unified.
Yes.
So that they will see that we're unified.
Yes. Yes.
You know, you're from the inner city yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother and I like this.
Yes, ma'am.
So I could do so much, but you have to do so much as well.
Yes, yes.
So that we'll be able to build and not destroy.
Yes, ma'am.
And not be afraid to say what is good. I'm not mind about the political ties.
Exactly.
If it's good for the people, it's good.
Yes.
If it's not good, it's not good.
Yes, yes.
And that's how I see it, and I hope that this is something will be constant.
Yes.
All right, all into the town, into Pine, into areas where we know we have a lot of young people, and that is so important. Yes. So hang in there, man. Yes. Hang in there and continue to do your best. Yes. That's all we do.
Yes. Thank you very much. We love you. We love you. Send there another block.
Mr. Pintard says this effort is all a part of their goal to help the crime numbers trend downwards in the coming weeks. Hundreds of Bahamian children were gifted with a brand new pair of shoes, tennis shoes, from a Good Samaritan as they gathered in the Bahama Ballroom that has been converted to a basketball arena to host the Summer of Thunder, an event which is packed with excitement and activities. Our Caitlin Babs has more on this story.
A day filled with fun activities and charity for Bahamian children today as Samaritan's Feet International and University of Kentucky basketball men's team joins forces with Urban Renewal for an experience those kids won't soon forget. Over 300 new pairs of shoes and socks were distributed today at the Bahama Resort Ballroom to young Bahamian children from Urban Renewal areas. Manny Ohanmi, founder and CEO of Samaritan's Feet, says His journey started back when he was just a boy growing up in Nigeria, approached by a missionary who was teaching children how to play basketball.
At the age of 9, I was selling water and surfing to the park in Africa, in West Africa specifically, when this missionary came to teach children how to play basketball. I got the chance to be part of a shooting competition. The prize of the winner was a new pair of shoes. I ended up winning the pair of shoes that had becoming the first person in my community to own a pair of tennis shoes. Ended up becoming a scholarship to come to America. And years later, I went back after my father passed away. I learned that over 300 million kids in Africa wake up each day with no shoes on their feet. Over 1.5 billion infected with diseases.
He says Samaritan's Feet was founded in 2003 with a vision to put shoes on the feet of more than 10 million people around the globe. He also says that today the organization has provided shoes to over 9 million people in over 109 countries. Coach of the University of Kentucky basketball team, John Calipari, taking the time to speak to reporters as team members engage the children in activities on the ball court. He says that the event is inspiring, sharing that today is not the first time his team has embarked on this charitable initiative.
Well, this is the third time we've worked with Samaritan's Feet here in the Bahamas to give away shoes, to make young people feel good, to let them know they're cared for, there's hope, there's a future, and our kids talking to them that way. But the other side is the impact it has on my players. You talk about being servant leaders, washing feet, putting on socks and shoes, asking them questions, building them up, you being below them. I mean, it's all unbelievably good stuff. And my players have said it's one of the most impactful things that we've done as a team over the years.
Also in attendance was Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg and Henry Higgins, Senior Programs Manager at Urban Renewal. Mr. Higgins says that this initiative is important as the brand new school year is just a few short weeks away, and many parents may not have the resources to provide children with new shoes.
So when we were approached by Samaritan's Feet, we thought it was a good idea to include the children from the urban renewal areas. So what we have here today is 250 children here from the urban renewal centers who will be blessed with tennis shoes and socks, all free of charge by the University of Kentucky Wildcats and Samaritan's Feet. It is important because this gives our children hope. It makes them understand that they're not all by themselves, but there are people in the world who care about them, and hopefully they one day will have that same attitude and spirit that they will care for the less fortunate. And so it is important that our children are allowed today to receive these shoes so that they can understand that all is not lost for them in our country.
The Samaritan's Feet CEO says that the takeaway from this great initiative is for children to know that they can not only be worthy of having a good pair of shoes, but they can also be capable of having dreams and goals and accomplishing anything they set their mind to. For Jcn News, I'm Caitlin Babb.
The Atlantis Bahamas at Heart Family and Friends Fun Run Walk and Roll is set for tomorrow, Saturday, August 13th, starting and finishing at Montague Bay Beach and Park. Registration is absolutely free. They warm up at 5:45 a.m. and the action begins at 6 a.m. Prizes will be awarded to the first female and male walker and runner. Other raffle prizes and surprises will be awarded as well. And finally, while the waters near Great Exuma are renowned for their unmatched beauty, last weekend more than 40 students spent a day with Beneath the Waves learning the deeper value of the marine ecosystem that surround their island and act as bedrock for the Bahamian economy and our way of life. As participants in the nonprofit summer camp, the young students learned about mangroves and coral reef habitats and the many species that live among them. They heard about some of the Beneath the Waves research, including studies of sharks, seagrass, and blue carbon, and research methods like underwater video surveys. Additionally, Coral Vita Conservancy, which has been working relentlessly to restore coral reefs off Grand Bahama, sent a team member, Joe Oliver, Director of Restoration Operations, to assist with the camp and provide in-depth information on corals in the Bahamas. Team ECCO, a North Carolina-based ocean education organization, also provided in-depth lessons on invertebrate and fish. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jurino Saunders. Thanks for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.